Asari Dokubo on the run. As a retired Army Major General, Tajuddin Olarunji has asked the police and the State Security Service (SSS) to invite the Niger Delta ex-militant Asari Dokubo for questioning over his recent allegation that the military is behind 99% of oil theft in the country. While responding to Asari's statement, Olarunji said the allegation was too weighty not to be taken seriously by the federal government. He says that such would constitute a breach of national security. He said there was a need for Dokubo to divulge all that he knows so that records will be set straight. Olarunji, who was a general officer commanding 3rd Armored Division of the Nigerian Army, said the allegations looks more like an attempt to bring down the military and make militancy popular in the eyes of the people. It should not be heard that Asari Dokubo and his boys were able to carry arms and now boasting around to be behind the sources against insecurity of terrorists and bandits on the Abuja-Kaduna axis, Niger State, and across the Niger Delta, while putting the military up as liars for laying claims to same. This is a cheap political blackmail. Dokubo should be directed by the president to provide whatever evidence is available to him to the security services. An individual like Dokubo cannot eat his cake and have it. He is now the complainant, jury, and the court, he said. He has taken an open criticisms of the entire security services and has whitewashed them in the public. The accusation is strong and grim enough to be thoroughly investigated through a commission of inquiry and steps taken accordingly. This man is playing to the gallery without any proof of evidence, and so he should not be treated lightly. It is in the interest of Mr. President to act on the open denigrating of his status as the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. The retired military officer said the allegations should not be taken seriously by the government. A statement from his media office said, Dokubo made the allegation after meeting with President Bola Tinubu in the State House in Abuja on Friday, stating that the president had promised to investigate allegations of oil theft. He added that there were powerful cabals operating from Abuja, vowing that such powerful forces had now met their match. According to him, many people would soon be taken to Kuje prison, as, according to the ex-militant, he had volunteered to use his boys to assist and do what was necessary to stop the theft. Reacting to the development, a retired member of the Nigerian Army and the Nigerian Forces Complex and Minister of Communication, Olarunji, called on the armed forces to report Asari Dokubo to the Nigerian Police Force and the Department of State Security Services for them to invite him to divulge all that he knows so records will be set straight. He said he has taken an open criticisms of the entire security services. The accusations are too strong and grim enough to be thoroughly investigated through a commission of inquiry and steps taken accordingly. This man goes about with armed men approved by the federal government, and whereas states that have security outfits, example, Amotekun, were denied from doing so. This kind of double standard has no place in today's political setting. General Abisoye, the NNPC report, and my review from 1993 to 1995 had taken care of these lapses, but the government ignored them. We should recall that in October last year, the Chief of Defense Staff, General Lucky Irabo, vowed to investigate oil theft activities in Niger Delta. General Irabo made the vow when he, alongside the Chief Executive Officer of the Nigerian National Petroleum Company, Malam Yakari, visited scenes of the illegal insertions at the Trans-Escrovos pipelines in the Yokiri area of Delta State. The retired officer continued. He said it was unpatriotic, uncharitable, and unfair for Mr. Dokubo to make such claims against a highly revered institution like the armed forces. Mr. Dokubo had allegations that the bulk cases of oil theft accorded. Mr. Dokubo alleged that the bulk cases of oil theft recorded in the oil-rich regions of Niger Delta were traceable to the military. The lawmakers said the Nigerian armed forces. Mr. Dokubo had alleged the lawmaker said the Nigerian armed forces had proven to be professional, patriotic, and committed to protecting the nation's territorial integrity. Therefore, Mr. Abase said the statement could demoralize troops making sacrifices daily for the peace and security of the nation. Therefore, he stated, I appreciate Dokubo, who is my good friend, for his unequivocal standard and stand on a lot of issues, but I think he missed the point on this particular subject. The efforts of our military officers and men who make all the sacrifices to keep the country together should not be taken for granted. If there are lapses, we expect Dokubo, as an elder statesman, to provide relevant information and support to the troops, he said. We should recall that on June 16, 2023, the former Niger militant leader Asari Dokubo accused the Nigerian military of being directly involved in oil theft within the region. Dokubo made this statement during a closed-door meeting with Mr. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu on Friday. In his statement, he said that he promised to work with other groups to completely stop the massive oil theft happening in the region. Myself and my brothers have assured the president that there will be zero oil theft and vandalization in the Niger Delta. We are going to work with all and NPPCL and the IOCs to make sure that oil taps is brought to zero, he said. According to the former militant leader, there are some powerful groups operating from Abuja who are involved in the unprecedented oil theft over the past 8 years, adding that they have now met their match and will be sent to prison. Dokubo revealed that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has promised to investigate the allegations of huge oil bunkeries by notorious naval commanders. The military is at the center of oil theft, and we have to make this very clear to the Nigerian public that 99% of oil theft can be traced to the Nigerian military, the army, and the navy, especially, he said. He also accused the military of intimidating the Civil Defense Corps detailed to safeguard the pipelines and the oil wells, adding that they received a lot of money from NNPCL and IOCs. Dokubo also stated that the manner in which the oil thieves had gone about their criminal activities, had stripped the people of the Niger Delta of their livelihood. It is a crime against humanity, Dokubo said. He described it as an act of blackmail for the military to claim lack of adequate weapons to address the security challenges in the country, accusing them of surrendering their weapons to the insurgents, thereby fueling insurgency in the country. He said the blackmail of Nigerian states by the Nigerian military is shameful. They said they do not have enough armaments and people listen to these false narratives. So this blackmail must end. They have enough resources to fight.